Welcome back to the A15 Exchange. I am your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 336 once again for episode 42 of the A15 Exchange. And well, playoffs have started, ladies and gentlemen. Officially on all fronts, the playoffs have started. We had some soccer seasons conclude. We had some stuff to talk about in MLB. We got a little bit of everything to talk about in today's episode, besides, I guess, entertainment. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter entertainment segment, but no complaints there when you have so much to talk about from the sports world, in this case, like it was last week. But before I start, as always, remember that timestamps are in the description. So if you're looking for a particular segment, you're looking for combat sports, which is MMA. Well, we have both MMA and boxing this week. That'll probably be my first segment. You can go straight to that. You're looking for the MLB, you can go straight to that. You just want to hear about the NBA playoffs, you can go straight to that. And also in the description, as always, my social medias. If you're looking to follow me on Twitter, which is where I'm most active, Instagram, not as active, Snap, TikTok, wherever it is. All my social media links are in the description. You can find them there, and you can follow me, or we can start dialogue, whatever you want. It's the People's Podcast, and yeah, let's get started. Without further ado, let's not waste any more time because I have a whole lot to talk about, and we're gonna start off, like I said. I think we're gonna start off with combat sports. Whew. UFC Vegas, I think it was UFC Vegas 27 or 26. We had a fight night, UFC fight night this past weekend. Before I get to what was the big news in combat sports this week, let's talk about MMA first. Get that out of the way. Main event, we had Rob Font taking on Cody Garbrandt, which I think essentially will serve as kind of like a number one contendership, maybe. To see who gets that next shot after Aljo and Jan kind of figure out what they're doing. Font just looks so much better. Not that Cody necessarily looked bad, but Rob Font just looked on another level. His reach advantage was just way, way, way too much for Cody to deal with, and Cody could do nothing with it. He could do absolutely nothing with it, and Rob got it done. Got it done all 5 rounds. I had a cut between this and something I'm going to talk about later, back and forth. But, yeah, Rob was in control. He UDs. Congratulations. Carla Esparza took on Yan Chunan, and she got the KO in round 2. Yan made Carla look like Khabib. Look like female Khabib. It was ridiculous. Yan had absolutely no type of wrestling skill, and Carla just completely exploited that. She had no answer, and then it was straight ground and pound. It was literally like watching a Khabib fight, but for the women. Carla it was complete and utter domination. She wants Rose next. They got history. I believe Carla's beaten Rose before, so I'm down for it, especially after that performance. That was huge. But yeah, should be a good one when Carla and Rose get that going. And to kind of end off here, we're just going to do a little medley of other events that happened on that UFC card. Vandera, unanimous decision against Tafa. That was a very, very good fight. I think it won fight of the night. Vandera, for heavyweight, moves excellent. He had that cut, which looked like it was worse than it was, but actually wasn't that bad. But he bled a whole lot. Dude was wearing a crimson, it was like a crimson vest. It was crazy. But maybe I'll try to find out. Nah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I might pop a picture up for that. But Vandera gets the win. Congratulations. Tafa didn't look bad, but Vandera definitely won. Nora Dumont beats Felicia Spencer. Dumont looks like a prospect. I'm not going to lie to you. Dumont looks like she might be able to do something at 145. I know she's trying to go down to 135, but if she didn't have to probably get immediately fed to Amanda, it could be very, very interesting because she's got some talent. She showed a lot of good things in that Spencer fight. So I will be following her career with a great interest. And to end off, Ricardo Ramos and Jack Hermanson both handle their respective opponents, Aguil and Edmund. Ramos, Jack, both look very good. Should move up the rankings. Both showed the upside that has them so lauded by some MMA experts and why they have a lot expected of them. But good performances overall. It was a pretty good card. It was a good card. I can say that. It was a good UFC card. Of course, the next event, I think, is another fight night. And then we got Adesanya versus Vettori 2. And that should be a good one. And we'll talk about that, of course, as it gets closer and closer to June. But, yeah, that was UFC. Now let's talk about boxing. Undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Undisputed on the line. Undisputed as in all of the belts in the respective junior welterweight division at 140. We were going to finally claim a king for only the 6th time in modern history, where we finally going to get an undisputed champion, which is the way it should be. We should have whoever is the best. The best should fight the best, and I'm going to talk about the heavyweight situation after this. But glad that we actually got, somebody to apply that, and we got it at 140, and what a fight it was. One of the best boxing matches I think we'll see of the year. Fight of the year contender for sure. Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez absolutely delivered. Though I will say Kenny Bayless's reffing was a little different, even though I find it hard to blame him, because I think it was just a very hard fight to ref because of the amount of tie-ups, and he was trying to let them work out of it and not always have to interfere, because he could have interfered as much more than he did, but it was a little bit awkward, and I think that it could have thrown the fighters off. But yeah, Taylor, Ramirez, we were going back and forth. Then Taylor caught him with a slip left. I knew the way he was throwing that, he was just barely missing, but he was throwing some heat on it. I knew if he connected with it, he would definitely get a knockdown, and that would change the fight, and it did. It absolutely did. Ramirez took a while to recover from that, got knocked down again, and that one, you could argue that the fight should have been off after the second knockdown, as Bayless did give Ramirez a little bit longer than that 10 seconds to keep going. But, yeah, Ramirez eventually got his legs back. Taylor kind of, I'm not going to say coasted, but he didn't finish the fight as strongly as I think he should have. But at the end of the day, he still won the fight. He still became the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. And he's king at 140. I think Jose will be back. He looked great. Had some real moments where it looked like he was going to win this fight, and that's where it was headed. He was giving Taylor some trouble, but Josh just, an incredible performance. He had the type of performance that you need to have in a situation like the one he was having. In a position where you get a chance to make history and become, a part of the pound-for-pound list, one of only 6 men all-time to ever unite and become an undisputed champ. That's the type of performance you need to put in. So, congratulations to Josh Taylor. Congratulations to the Scot. He gets it done. Going to be interesting. That 140 division, of course. Teofimo still got to handle his business at 135, but it seems kind of inevitable that he's going to end up at 140 and continue to move up because of his body type and how big he is. So, Taylor Teo, if Teo can continue to, chalk up the wins, he's got Cambosis, coming up, coming up, and that should be an interesting fight. But if Teo can keep it going, Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez will surely be a big time event, and should be a good one. Also in boxing, we had the heavyweight situation, which it just makes me sad, I was so excited. So very excited to finally have the undisputed heavyweight champ. We were finally going to unite all the belts. 140 was doing it. Now heavyweight was doing it. We were so good. But then Wilder won his case. And now we have Fury versus Wilder 3. Which, of course, I'm going to watch. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not going to watch it. I absolutely, positively am going to watch that fight. But I don't particularly care for it. And if I'm Wilder, but again, I don't know. Maybe Wilder doesn't have that much belief in his... Maybe the confidence he shows towards his abilities, maybe that's a little bit falsified. Because why wouldn't you want to fight Fury again, but with the chance to have them all on the line? All of the belts on the line. To take this fight now and to push for it now tells me that you sense that your time is coming to an end. And this feels like he just wants one last hurrah before he rides off in the sunset. Because I don't see him beating Tyson Fury. Yes, with Wilder, it always comes the chance that he can land that one punch. That one punch that changes everything. He's done it time after time after time again. He's done it in every single fight he's ever fought in, besides the last one. But I don't see him beating, unless he's made significant, and I mean absolutely significant technical changes. I don't see him beating Tyson Fury. I don't. I don't expect him to beat Tyson Fury. I would much rather get Fury versus Joshua like we were supposed to, but now we have Fury Wilder 3, and we get Joshua versus Usyk. So, Usyk, he was once undisputed at cruiserweight. Just a whole lot of undisputed talk. Maybe that will be the title for today's episode. Whole lot of undisputed stuff. Cruiserweight champ, Usyk, moved up to heavyweight. He's been undefeated at a heavyweight so far. Though Joshua, of course, is a massive challenge for him. And, that'll be a cool fight. I'll be interested. I'll probably be more interested in that fight than in Fury Wilder 3. But it's going to be, it's interesting, That's kind of the reason why we've had the celebrity boxing we all want to talk about. And people, boxing purists, want to, spread hate about, these YouTubers and these TikTokers are boxing and it's ruining the sport. No, what's ruining the sport is that y'all seem to not be able to have the best fighters fight the best. Why is that so hard? Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum, why can't y'all fight Errol Spence Jr.? And why are we now having to watch Errol face Manny? Why can't y'all, if you're the two best welterweights in the world, why can't y'all get that done? Why can't you get it done? Why can't the promoters get it done? Why can't the fighters get it done? You talk a lot about being the best. If you're the best, fight the best, prove that you're the best. Simple. Like Canelo's doing. He collected a title, which means I'm one of the best in my division. Well, guess what? I'm going title hunting. I don't want there to be a question at my weight class. Who is the best? I don't want there to be a question. Not a single question. And that's what he's doing. He's going out. He's fighting the best. Boxing needs more of that. They need more of what happened here at 140 with Ramirez and Taylor. The best have to fight the best. You want interest back in this sport, let the best fight the best. And right now that's not happening in boxing. And they want to act why are we having this celebrity stuff? Because that gets the people's interest. That's what people are interested in. Yeah, it's a freak show, whatever you want to call it. But it's got the people's interest. The general population doesn't care to see, this guy's supposed to be the world champion, supposed to be the best in the world, and he's going down and he's fighting a number 5 contender who's about 40 years old, might be washed up, not that great, but he's getting a world title shot. Nobody cares to see that. Outside of boxing purist fans, nobody cares to see that. But boxing loves making those matchups, protecting your champions. How many of the all-time greats are undefeated? Take a risk. Stop being scared. Stop ducking these things. And that's how just let the best fight the best. At the end of the day, point I make, let the best fight the best. When the best fight the best, we get great fights like Taylor and Ramirez. So shout out to them. Shout out to Josh Taylor on, becoming an undisputed champ. And that's combat sports. Now to head over to the soccer world, to the footballing world. As we've had some of these seasons conclude, and I said I was going to talk about it. And, of course, we got something pretty big coming on next Saturday. Well, I guess this Saturday now. And that's the Champions League final. But before I start that, Atletico Madrid won La Liga Barcelona couldn't get it done. Real Madrid couldn't get it done. But Atletico Madrid was able to get it done this year in La Liga. Luis Suarez clinches it. And yeah, congratulations to Atletico. La Liga normally dominated between Barca, Real. As we all know, Atletico got their, once a decade championship. They got it, at the beginning of the decade. So hopefully they have more success. But man, Barca just down bad. Just down bad. Even though they did sign Sergio Aguero, who played his last game with Man City, who won the Premier League, and I'll talk about the Premier League later. Just they're down horrendous. Down horrendous business-wise, down horrendous manager-wise. At least Messi's staying now. At least Messi decided to stay. You have that. Your captain, the greatest player to ever play and put on a Barcelona kit. At least he's staying. At least you still got him. But y'all are pretty down bad right now, I'm not going to lie. Congratulations to Simeone and Atletico. That's huge, winning La Liga. Also, another major title upset in Liga 1. Lille. Yes, Lille. Lille takes out PSG. They uncrowned PSG as kings in France. They win Liga 1 by 1 point. Mbappe wins Golden Boot in just about every single thing. Harry Kane also did that, but yeah, Mbappe wins just about everything you can win. But Lille, congratulations. Yilmaz. I know they got Tim Weah repping for America. We got Renato Sanchez. A lot of people counted him out. He's still here. Jonathan David. A lot of great players on that Lille team. And if you look at it, hey, even though you would always expect PSG because of who they have and the nature of that club, you'd always expect them to win France. But this Lille team is not some scrub team, as they've proven. This is a team with a lot of talented players, and yeah, they deserved it. They absolutely earned the French title, so congratulations to Lille on getting it done. Now, Premier League. I said I was going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. Bell and Spurs took on Leicester City with pretty much everything on the line here. Leicester City, who just won the FA Cup, all they had to do was get it done. All they had to do, win the game. Win the game, and they would have Champions League. Gareth Bale decided to, have an absolute masterful. He has been phenomenal since he came back to Spurs, if I'm being honest. I don't know what his goals-assist ratio is in the, however many minutes, but it's got to be high. I think he's scored about 16 goals this season. Bale's been great. He's been great, if I'm being honest. And Spurs should sign him permanently and bring him home because it's where he belongs. It's clearly where he belongs. Harry Kane also wins top scorer and top assist man in the Premier League, so shout out to him. But yeah, they get the win over LFC 4-2. So that means Liverpool advances into the Champions League. And Chelsea, despite a loss, barely ekes themselves into the Champions League. And of course, on Saturday, we have them taking on Man City for this year's Champions League trophy. And I have to say, I don't see any way Chelsea's winning. They went from great form to absolutely horrendous form. They are in horrendous form. Now I know, they've had Man City's number this year. They've beaten them before. Man City's also beaten Chelsea before, but we saw FA Cup semis. Chelsea handled business. We know how good they can be. But Man City's just been more consistent. It would be so very difficult to not pick Man City to win in this situation. So incredibly difficult. Because of how good Man City's been this year and how consistently good they've been. And all of the talent on that team. It just seems like it's Man City's year. I don't know if Chelsea's got the goods. We gonna see. They have to get back in form urgently and gotta play their best game of the season on Saturday if they want to beat Man City. And to end off here, if we go to Italy, Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo were in danger of also not making the Champions League. We had Inter win that league, but Napoli folded and had a draw in the last game of the season, and that cost them. Ultimately, that cost them Champions League. Juventus makes it through just barely. Them and Chelsea just barely make it in. Just barely squeeze on by into Champions League, and that's huge, of course, because it might mean Ronaldo stays. That might mean Ronaldo stays. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting storyline as we get here into the summer transfer window. But congratulations to Juve, Napoli. Europa League's not that bad. You know, might be better suited for your talents. Might give you a better chance of winning rather than the Champions League. But yeah, Juve makes it. They gotta fix that. Honestly, they gotta fix that. I don't even know if it's just Pirlo, just full length. They just need changes at Juventus, from the top to the bottom, and kind of get it going. You know, gotta fix that up, because a team of that caliber really should be performing better. But that's soccer. Now to head over to the entertainment world, which is really just music. It's really just music. I'm not even going to pop up entertainment for that. I probably just popped up music, because all I have to talk about is music. If I'm being honest, not a single movie came out this week. I guess The Army of the Dead, but I don't care to see that, if I'm being honest. TV shows, I didn't watch TV shows because it's playoff time, so I've just been watching playoff hockey and playoff basketball. That's it. I started Castlevania, haven't got past the first 2 episodes. Not that they were bad. It's just I've had other focus. If I'm not watching playoff hockey or basketball, I'm playing a game on the laptop. I'm filling out job applications for my summer job. Unless y'all want to help me get monetized, remember to like, share, and subscribe. That's always appreciated. Yeah, or I'm watching somebody's stream on Twitch or YouTube. Look, I apologize. If there's a TV show that's out that y'all want me to review, or a movie y'all want me to review, please feel free, put me on. But we have music this week. Nudy dropped on Monday. Literally, when this episode came out, young Nudy had dropped. But I hadn't listened to it yet. Doctor, I guess we're calling it Evil, or EV4L. It was good. It was a very good album. I'm going to give it an 8.8. 8.8. It was a very strong album. I actually liked it more than his last project, if I'm being honest. I had it on in the background, and I was just like, I found myself, I was forgetting to add songs into the playlist, because I was just kind of vibing through that whole album, through the entire album. I was just like, okay. I was doing something else and I had it on in the background. I was just like, alright, this slaps. And then I was like, dang, I'm 6 songs in. I hadn't even looked at my phone, and I've just been going all the way through, because everything has slapped so far. I don't really have a standout track yet. I have to wait till second listen for that. But, yeah, if you haven't listened to it already for whatever reason, Young Nudy, Dr. EV4L or Dr. Evil, whatever you want to call it, it was fire. 8.8, very good album. Shout out to Nudy. Like I said, the week before when I was talking about the Book of Saul, Spiral, the whole thing with Slaughter Gang, said Nudy doesn't really miss. He didn't really miss on this one at all. So, shout out to Nudy. Everybody's favorite Korean boy group, BTS. I don't know if you know, but they dropped. I mean, if you have Twitter, you probably know. Also, if you have YouTube, you also probably know, since they did well over 100 million views. I think they broke the 24-hour record. I don't know what it was. Are we really surprised? Are we really surprised at this point? No. No, we're not. I will give one thing, even though they can be very annoying at times. Certain subsections of that fandom of ARMY can be very annoying and very irritating, and I just want them off of my social media at a very specific times. ARMY don't come for me. Alright? I am not, listen, I haven't made the merch for Villain yet, haven't done all that yet. Listen, my career's still coming up. I'm not trying to get canceled yet. Alright, yet. Maybe a little bit later, but y'all can't cancel me yet. Alright? But yeah, they got the fandom is crazy. Probably the best fandom, honestly, of any kind of, I guess, musician on the planet. The way they mobilize and activate, I have to give them props. I have to give them respect for that. They absolutely, whatever they feel, or if they think they need to get something accomplished, they gonna get it accomplished. So I gotta put some respect on that, and they keep breaking records. So shout out to them. Butter by BTS. It was cool. It was cool. It was good. It was solid. It was just like normal radio pop, if I'm being honest. Nothing that blew me out. Knowing what they're capable of. I miss BTS. I'm not going to lie. I hate to be one of those, oh, I miss the old version of this artist or whatever, the case is. But I miss them working at their full potential and not kind of, even though I understand from a business standpoint, from a business, student, from a person that's, I guess, a businessman to an extent, I understand it. It makes sense why they're making songs like Butter, Dynamite, even though I've liked all of these songs, but I haven't loved them. They haven't been great. Even the album they dropped last year it was good. It was healing music. I don't really care to hear any more healing music. We about to be back outside, man. It's summer. I'm kind of tired, I want that feeling when I first heard Fake Love or Idol or Mic Drop Remix. I want that feeling back again. I want BTS working at their full potential. Even though, from a business standpoint, I understand why you're making songs like this that, are radio pop, feel very, fit the ideal of what, is going to work and appeal to the masses, to a T. Also, for max streaming potential, it's well under 3 minutes. It's only a 2-minute and 45-second song, so you can put up big numbers. Even though I understand all that from a business standpoint, I want them to go back to making the music that I know they're capable of. And that's all I'll say about that. It was alright. Music video was cool. Even though J-Hope's hair was dreadful. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. But they can do better. They can do better. I think we all know they can do better. For the new fans, they can do better. Trust. Go back and look at what they've done in the past. They can do much better than they're doing. And to end off with the Billboard Music Awards, that was last night. Drake won Artist of the Decade, so congratulations to Drizzy. I don't think it was really, there could be a conversation, but I think it was pretty clearly Artist of the Decade. Not really too much to talk about there. Though, I guess Young Adonis made an appearance, Adonis Graham, and looked absolutely disgusted to be in the presence of non-rich and wealthy folks, so that was entertaining. But nice to see Donnie. Congrats to Drake. Well deserved. Can't wait for CLB. I need a release date, though. Please, can I get a release date? I know you're almost done. You're finishing up, but we need it. We need it, Drake. We need it. Also, shout out to Weeknd. Shout OVO XO, man. OVO XO. The Weeknd. The Grammy shafted him. Billboard did not. He took home 10 trophies last night, so congratulations to Weeknd. Bell, After Hours, one of the best albums of the year. And glad to see him doing that. He announced it's time for a new era. And win until 10 Billboard Music Awards. I think that's a pretty fair way to end an era and start a new one. And with the remaining time, I want to see if I can get this full 20-minute segment out. And with my remaining time, we're going to go over to baseball. And then we're going to talk about the playoff stuff in the Roundup. And after this, I know y'all waiting on it. It's been in the title. Y'all may have skipped to it. Maybe you're watching all the way through. I know you're waiting for it. I'm going to get to you. But we're going to quickly go through baseball here because we had some more madness concur yet again. Spencer Turnbull and Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber no-hits the Rangers. Great for the Yankees. Baseball. Like I said in that TikTok I posted, what is going on, MLB? Turnbull started off the week with one against the Mariners. That's the second time they've been no-hit this season. The Mariners also have a team batting average below 200, which is the Mendoza line. That's absolutely pitiful. That is terrible. That is atrocious. Your team average is below 200. I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry, Mariners fans. I am so sorry. But yeah, Turnbull, Kluber, shout out to him. Congrats on the no-hitters. Also, crazy thing that happened in the MLB this week, a triple play. Gio Urshela helps turn a triple play for the Yankees. Keeps Chapman with 0 runs given up. You love to see it. Shout out to Gio. Triple play, one of the most exciting plays in baseball. Probably one of the most exciting plays in sports because it doesn't happen very often. Does not happen very often, and it's always a cool sight to see. And we pulled it off. And to end off with this super quick, I really just sped run this MLB segment. I really probably could have put this in the Roundup. But nonetheless, Fernando Tatis is on fire. Caught COVID. He was away for a while. Tatis has come back on fire. Absolutely on fire. 2-hit game yesterday. 4-hit game. 3-hit game. 3 home runs, I think, in the last 4. an insane bat toss yesterday on that grand slam. Tatis has been on fire. He's over 300. He's hitting over 300 now. He's playing like the hundreds and hundreds of $1 million player that he is, and the franchise player, and one of the best players in the league. Certainly one of the most exciting players. Got a guy that's going to be one of the faces of the league long term. And yeah, Tatis is on fire. So happy days in San Diego. Happy days. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's NBA time. We're just going to pop it up right here. You know what time it is. You've probably been waiting on it. It's the headlining event of the sports world right now. The NBA playoffs have started, and what a start it was. Of course, we had to play in. Warriors got eliminated by the Grizzlies. Shout out to John Morant. I got to talk about that game also. I didn't get to do it in my notes, so I'll probably pull up my phone for that one. But plenty to talk about from the NBA. Plenty to talk about. And of course, we're going to start off with the first game of the first round. All the game ones have concluded. I guess I'll give my predictions as I go about who I think is going to win the series or whatever. Milwaukee took on the Heat. They took game 1, 109-107 in overtime. Chris Middleton with that game winner. Listen, even though I got to give Middleton, I'm not going to slander him. Y'all heard me say it before about Middleton. Y'all know what I think about the Bucks. If you haven't already, go back into just about any NBA past episode, even the ones I did last year about the playoffs. Listen, I'm not going to slander him. I'm going to give him his flowers. Middleton is a good player. He had 27. Giannis honestly didn't have a great game. He still had 22, 18, and 5, which on paper probably looks like, oh, okay, Giannis went off. Giannis honestly did not play a good game. He really did not play that good of a game, but 22, 18, and 5 at the end of the day, it's hard to really argue with almost a 20-20 game with 5 assists. But yeah, Bucks get the win. He didn't look bad, but they definitely could have been better. There was ample opportunities for them to win this game with how many free throws the Bucks missed. The opportunity was there. They just never took it. I don't know about this Heat team. I really don't. They're not my dark horse like they were last year when I made the dark horse graphic and all that stuff. They're not my dark horse this year. They're not. I said who my dark horse was, and then they got hurt. So I don't know if I really have a dark horse. Maybe I'll find one as I go down the line here. But yeah, it's not the Heat this year. I don't know. I think I see the Bucks. I think the Bucks can win this series. I think they get it done with them playing more consistent. This could really go either way, but I think the Bucks get it done. I don't know if the Heat can, get it together. But I don't know. Maybe Jimmy unlocks himself. Maybe Bam plays better. We'll see. But Milwaukee takes game 1, that's for sure. Dallas takes out the Clippers. Oh, the Clippers. What's more fun to watch as an NBA fan than the Clippers during playoff time? What is more fun to watch? Pandemic P is bad. Even though, Paul, I can't really say you played too bad of a game. But you did have those air balls, and we didn't forget them. Pandemic P is back. The Clippers just folded. They folded. Kawhi didn't play a good game. Honestly, they folded. They straight folded. Luka was bullying them. KP had an awful game, and the Mavericks still won by 10 points. This is going to be an interesting series. It would have been a very interesting series last year if Porzingis hadn't been hurt, and now he's healthy, so it's going to be interesting. With Luka as good as he is, he had a 31-point triple-double this game. It's going to be an interesting series. I think this is one that could go either way. There's a lot of these series that I think could go either way. But I think this is going to be one of the closer ones. I can see it going 6-7 games. Once again, like it did last year. It went 6 games last year. I could see a 6-7 game series with the talent on both of these teams. And Dallas is for real, man. Dallas is going to cause them some problems. Luka is a matchup problem. Until Ty Lue decides to put either Kawhi or PG on Luka full time, it's going to be a problem. They're going to have a problem. And, yeah. So, shout out to Dallas on the game 1 win, though. Shout out to them. Brooklyn took on Boston, and ISO Gang did what ISO Gang does. I think they scored a total. I think they had over a combined 80 points. And listen, again, similar to the Middleton thing, I don't really need to say how I feel about the Nets. They're winning the finals. They're winning the finals. This team is stacked. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't see anybody beating them. Though this would probably be an interesting series if Jaylen Brown wasn't hurt. So hate that for Tatum, but at the end of the day, KD had 32 and 12. KI had 29. The Beard had 21. I don't know if they get stopped. Certainly not by the Celtics. Probably a series where we're gonna get the broomsticks out. But Celtics, at least you're putting up a good fight. Tatum, this can be a good learning experience. Help you build you up. When JB comes back, y'all can really come back with a vengeance. Probably need to get some more assets on that team if y'all really want to contend. But still a chance to grow, a chance to get some experience in the playoffs. But ISO gang is gonna murk the Nets. Let's be honest. Portland versus Denver. Portland took the win 123 to 109. Dame time. Dame time. Joker's winning the MVP this year, as we all know. I think he's pretty close to unanimous so far with the voting from what I've seen. With what I've heard, he's pretty close to unanimous. But Joker's winning it so far. He had 34 and 16. Good game from him, but rest of the team not so great. They're missing Jamal Murray. They're missing him. Dame had 34 and 13, so a great duel from the two superstars there. But it's gonna take a Herculean effort, from the Nuggets if they want to win the series. It's not impossible, but I think without Jamal Murray and knowing what Dame can do in the playoffs, I think this is another one that goes a long term. But honestly, I see Portland winning it. I think Portland gets out. I think Denver just pays for not having them. Scenario where I see Denver winning this series is if Michael Porter Jr. just goes to another level, as he's capable of. He's very capable of. We're going to find out if he's ready. It's not going to be Jokic. It's got to be the other guys like MPJ, like Aaron Gordon, that have to step up and become that number 2, number 3 guy here if the Nuggets want to beat this Trailblazers team. If they want to do anything in these playoffs and really, prove that, hey, we're still a contender here, that's what they got to do. They got to make that happen. But for now, I'd say Portland's winning this series, and they take game 1. Philly take on Washington. Philly gets the win late. They pulled away, 125 to 118. Tobias Harris with 37 out of nowhere. Joel Embiid had 30. Ben Simmons had a very Ben Simmons game with a clean 6, 15, and 15. Bradley Beal showed up big time, 33, 10, and 6 for the Wizards, but it wasn't enough. Westbrook wasn't too great. But, good one for Philly. Seemed like there's a little bit of heat there, a little bit of a rivalry. And we've seen that in a lot of these series. There seems to be a little bit of a tension between these teams, and that's always great. We got the fans back, so the atmosphere has been phenomenal. But, it seems like we might got something brewing between the Wizards and the 76ers. I think the 76ers, of course, take this series, but they take game 1 as well. Suns took on the Lakers, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to tell you. I'm not surprised. I tried to tell y'all. Everybody's like, listen, I get it. Bron, once again, my favorite player ever, right? Second greatest player of all time. This is not going to be some, easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl, whatever. It's not going to be a breeze. They're going to have a very tough road if they want to make it back to the finals and get put up to slaughter to the ISO game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Because Anthony Davis is not playing like Anthony Davis. DeAndre Ayton took him to the woodshed. Ayton had 21 and 16. Completely bullied AD. AD is supposed to be the second best player in this series. A top 10 player in the league. I didn't see that yesterday. He didn't show up. He didn't show up. I know a lot of people are going to give Bron the flack because it's Bron. And he only had 18, 7, and 10. Even though his, game 1s usually are fill-out games. And I'm sure, and he honestly didn't play too bad. It's just the rest of the team was god-awful. Kuzma had, I think, about 18, 20 minutes, 0 points. Just an awful game. An awful game from the Lakers. CP3 got injured. He's still dealing with that shoulder injury, but Book and Aiton, the two young stars, picked it up for him, and they got it done. They get a big-time Game 1 win, a statement win. Honestly, in my opinion, a statement win. Everybody, I don't know why the Lakers were favored. I wouldn't have had them the favorite in this series. And like I said, try to tell y'all that this is not going to be a breeze for the Lakers. It's going to be an accomplishment for them to make it to the finals. An accomplishment. From where they're seated, from the situation they're going through, and from the team that they have, an absolute accomplishment if they make it. Because I don't think they are. I don't think they are. But congrats to Book. He had 34-7-8 in his playoff debut. And again, Aiton looking like Hakeem out there. Suns big win, 99-90. Atlanta in New York. Trae Young. That's all I got to say. Randall played like dog crap. He was awful. Absolute garbage. But Trae Young. Apparently y'all didn't watch his high school stuff. Because MSG started an FU Trae chant, I think like 2 minutes into the game. And he fed off that the entire game. And then he hits the floater to put it away. Hawks get the win. It's going to be a good series. We're going to find out if this Knicks team is for real or not. They did well during the regular season. Randall looked great, but he didn't show up yesterday. We're going to find out if this Knicks team is real in this series. Because Trae Young, he's in the playoffs now. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. And the Knicks fans just gave him all he needed. All he needed to feel him. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see if Trae Young becomes Reggie Miller. We're going to see if the Knicks can rise to the occasion. We had RJ with that great poster dunk. He's got to be a big-time player. D Rose played well for the Knicks. But, again, Randall, if you're going to be the guy, you got to be the guy. You have to be the guy. You can't just be the guy during the regular season. You got to be the guy during the playoffs, too. That's how you earn your respect in New York. They like you now. But if you fold over this series, it's going to turn real fast for you. And it can get ugly. It can get ugly real fast in New York, as we all know. But shout out to the Hawks. They get it done. They get it done. Now let me head over quickly. Okay, Grizzlies, Jazz. The Jazz, number 1 seeded Jazz team, get taken out by this Grizzlies team, who are looking like they might be something. They looking like they might be a little bit of a Cinderella here. Because Ja is he's on something. Ja is on something. He had 26 in this game. Valanciunas had 15 and 12. Dylan Brooks with 31 points. Over here looking like the El DeBarge. D Brooks with 31, 13 from 26 from the field. Good one for the Grizzlies. Of course, the Jazz dealing with no Spider. He apologized on Twitter after the game for not being there. But hopefully he can get healthy because, of course, you want to see them at full, potential, full capacity. Gobert, 11 for 15, but he fouled out. So you got to do better. If you want your respect, Gobert, you got to do better than this. Fouling out when your team needs you against a hot Grizzlies team is not going to go. Got to play better over the course of the series. Bogdan Bogdanovic, got to give a shout out to you, though. 29 points, not bad. Conley had 22 and 11. Just got outplayed. Simply put, they got outplayed. So shout out to the Grizzlies. Good win. I think that series just all kind of depends on if Spider's back, how healthy is he, what can he do. I think that's really going to determine whether the Jazz get upset here or if they're able to pull through. But should be a very interesting series. Should be an interesting playoffs with all these storylines we got going on that have been created or that we already had going in. All of these close games. And these are just really intriguing matchups. Should be a good playoffs. Besides the fact that we already know who's going to win it all. Bar a complete meltdown. ISO Gang is winning the championship. But it should be an interesting path to see how we get to that conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the NHL. I said they were going to get their own segment this week. And what do you know? Here we are. We got an NHL segment this week. So hockey fans rejoice. And I do this because we're in the playoffs. And the hockey playoffs have been fire. They have been absolute fire so far. We're going to start off with the President's Trophy winning and probably the Stanley Cup favorite, Colorado Avalanche, absolutely avalanching through the St. Louis Blues. They're different. That team is different. Nathan McKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog played a great series. Kel McCarr, of course. That team is a problem. The Avalanche are a problem. They make quick work. They get the broomsticks out, and they're the first to end the series. They get it done. Looks like they'll be taking on Vegas. Vegas currently taking on Minnesota. Alex Tuch has been phenomenal, playing out of his mind. And yeah, that Vegas Colorado game series, if it happens, that's gonna be very interesting. Fleury versus Grubauer, big time goalie matchup. Of course, Tuch and McKinnon. A lot of interesting matchups there. But they got to get it done. They got to close the show against Krill in Minnesota. We'll see if they can get that done. Going down the line there in the Western Conference, we got the Maple Leafs. We got Montreal, which of course Johnny T. Luckily, only a concussion. That was a very scary moment. I think the fight was pointless. I understand why Foligno fought Perry after that, but it's not like it was on purpose. But nonetheless, it is what it is. It's going to be an interesting series. Without Johnny T, that changes some things. We'll see what happens there. Cole Caulfield with Canadians. We'll see if he can make an impact. Austin Matthews won the Rocket Richards trophy this year. Led the league in goals. He's going to have to step up. With no Johnny T, him and Marner got to be superstars. If Toronto wants to win the series here, it's tied up 1-1. It's going to be an interesting storyline and seeing how that goes. Winnipeg is up 3-0 after an insane comeback on the Oilers yesterday. Edmonton, down bad. We finally get Mac and Dry in the playoffs. Mac had 3 assists yesterday, and they've just folded. They folded over and over. They're folding like a chair, like a table. They're folding like a piece of paper. They flaking. They're flaking. They're choking. They're folding under the pressure. There's no words. Absolutely no words. McDavid he looked broken. That looked like a broken man. He already looks emotionless, but he looked especially broken in the press conference last night. I'm sure he called up Jack Eichel and they just had a 2-hour-long call or FaceTime where they just vented about how bad their teams are and how much of a struggle it is to be a franchise player on what seems to be a bad franchise. But I don't know. We'll see if they can pull off the reverse sweep. I wouldn't bet on it. Probably Winnipeg advancing here. Pittsburgh and the Islanders. The Islanders have done a great job in this series. Restricted Crosby after he had that big game 1. He's been held scoreless in the past 2. Barzal and the Islanders, man, can't be slept on. Cannot be slept on. We got a series that's tied up 2-2. It's going to be an interesting one to see how that one goes down. Boston takes out the Capitals 4-1. Ovi out of the playoffs. No second Stanley Cup for him. Pasta, Bergeron, Marchand. They avenged Zadino. Chara went to Washington, but couldn't get it done against his old team. So congratulations to the Bruins. Big time win there. I have to speed run these last 2. The Hurricanes and the Predators. Great series. I'm kind of sick of being in Nashville as a Hurricanes fan. They've pulled it off in double overtime the past 2 games. Back-to-back double overtime games. This is ridiculous. But yeah, we got a very interesting series. Hopefully we can get it done now back in Raleigh. We got to do better for Ned. And Ned has to do better himself. Let's see. Oh, Tampa Bay up in Florida in the Battle of Florida. They're the defending Stanley Cup champions. Are we really surprised? Alex Killorn, Kucherov. This is what they do. This is what the Lightning do. And we'll see if Barkov and the Panthers can get back. But I think the Lightning got it in the bag. And with all that said and all of my major notes covered, and there was a whole lot of them this week, that means we have reached the Roundup. Yes, we have reached the Roundup for this week. And of course, we're going to lead off with the fact that Phil Mickelson, yes, lefty, at 50 years old, barely got into this tournament, wins his 6th major at the PGA Championship. Congrats to Phil. He played great all week. All week. Had a almost 5-shot lead at one point. He was great. He was phenomenal. That crowd was electric. Electric for him. And yeah, happy to see Phil accomplish that. I know there was something with Brooks in the crowd and the situation there. But, you know, happy to see for Phil. I'm surprised it's only his 6th major. I feel like he'd won more. But I guess that tells you, maybe the dominance of Tiger Woods. That Phil, probably the 2nd best player of that past generation. Only won 5 majors. That I'm thinking about that as kind of low for him. Just kind of the anomaly Tiger was. But yeah, congrats to Phil. Gets it at 50, probably his last. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're in a Phil Mickelson renaissance, and he's gonna go on a tear here. But yeah, congrats to Lefty. Well done, well done. Oldest man to ever win a major trophy in golfy. So, congrats. Racing. We'll start off with NASCAR before I get to F1. I don't know why that race was conducted at Austin. That rain, the visibility was terrible. The lap times were awful. But Chase Elliott gets his win. He's the king of road courses now. I think pretty officially. He's just clearly that much better than everybody else at road courses. And yeah, kind of felt like NASCAR was giving it to the Golden Boy a little bit. Just a little bit. That they allowed it to go on as long as it did. Because honestly, any other race, I don't see how. I do not see how that race was allowed to go on. There was no visibility. Honestly, look it up. I probably popped the picture up. But honestly, look up a video of some of the crashes there. There was no reason to race in that. But Chase Elliott gets the win. Moving on here to the next thing, we had in F1, Max Verstappen wins at Monaco. We had Erling Haaland in attendance. We had Serena Williams in attendance. All the celebrities show up to Monaco. Lewis Hamilton's been one of the best at that track, but he finished 7th. Lewis had some trouble, and yeah, he was very unhappy about that situation at hand there. But big win for Max, big win for Red Bull. Helps get them back an inch closer to Lewis in those championship standings. Max and Lewis look like they're just kind of an echelon above everybody this season. So we'll see how that plays out, but big win for Max. And to end off my notes here, Scoot Henderson, class of 2022, 5-star guard, moves up to class of 2021 and becomes the youngest professional in recorded professional basketball history. He joins the G League, joins the G League Ignite. We'll see how that goes for him. I remember a couple weeks ago, about a month or two ago, I was like, wow, the Ignite don't really have anybody on, and now they've just kind of had a flurry here as we've gotten down to the end of this 2021 recruiting class and them kind of making their final decisions. We've had that kind of happen, but Scoot to the G League should be interesting. He joins Jaden Hardy, of course, and that should be an interesting backcourt there. And of course, Michael Foster there as well. So yeah, big pickup for the G League. We'll see how it keeps going. See if they can keep the momentum up and make a few more additions. But looks like that's gonna work out. Which of course always cool to see. Even though the NCAA basketball fan in me is like, dang, we don't get to see some of these great players play in college basketball. Hey, honestly, like I said, when it was going on, I enjoyed watching the G League this year. I enjoyed watching those young guys kind of prove themselves against other professionals, other top-level, players who are just on the brink of being in the NBA. It's better competition than college ball, so it's a great developmental source, so I'm down for it. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of episode 42. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to comment anything for At The Buzzer or anything you want to tell me, any thoughts you have on anything I said. Feel free to. My social media links, of course, are at the end of this video in the outro as always. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week. Welcome to summer. It's about to get hot. Ocho, signing off.